Hey everybody, it's Missy. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today's layout is for Citrus Twist kits, and this is my first layout using one of the March kits, and this is the add-on kit called Daydreams. And I'm going to start with some white cardstock and the stamps. Now I've already cut this cute little butterfly design that I got from the cut shop, and I've already got it cut here, and I'm going to use the stamps as a design element. And so I'm going to pick the little saying that says "for the wild in you," because this picture is of my little wild child here, and I just thought it was cute. And you're not really going to be able to read it. I'm just using it for a cool artsy look here. So I'm going to take the stamp and some archival ink here and just kind of messy stamp all over the butterflies. And my paper is still stuck to my cutting mat here. I'm going to do all the stamping and some mixed media work right on the cardstock before I peel it off of my silhouette cutting mat. And I just wanted to give the butterflies you know, a cool little design effect, and so that's what the stamping is doing here. So I've got the whole cut file covered in stamps, and now I'm going to come in with some clear gesso and just give it a light coat. And none of this is going to harm my cutting mat. I'm not using a whole lot there, so it's not going to seep through. And this sticker sheet from the Maggie Holmes Bloom line is included in this add-on kit, and these are the colors that I'm going to try to create here. Now these are some mixed media shimmers products from my stash, and I'm just using a water brush here, and I'm just going to kind of quickly add some color to the cardstock. Very, you know, abstract here. I'm just going to add some pink and some teal and some gold, and no rhyme or reason, just kind of splotches of color here and there. And when I peel this off the mat, it's going to look really cool. So this is a really pretty pink color, and there's some gold shimmer in it. And this is another one of my shimmers products. It's colorings called Oh Say Can You See, and it's a really pretty teal color. And so I'm just going to splatter it around to add a little bit of teal in the mix there. And this is a fun thing to do if you like the look of mixed media, but you don't want to put it, you know, straight onto your background. You can do it right on top of a cut file like this, and then it's going to look nice and neat and organized when you peel it off your cutting mat. So this is Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine, and I'm just going to do some splatters of gold. I didn't want to cover up the entire thing. I wanted to leave a little bit of white, and so I'm almost done here. I'm going to make sure I dab up all of the gold there before I start to peel it off. Now, one thing I did not do was bring out my heat tool. I did not want to put my heat tool on top of the cutting mat, so I just kind of let it dry for just a minute there, and then I got impatient and went ahead and just started to peel it off. Now, it would probably peel off a lot better if it was completely dry, but my paper was still a little wet, and so, you know, I had to go a little bit slower because wet paper does tend to tear, but it worked out okay. I just had to take my time and use my little spatula there. Now this cardstock that I cut on here is just some cardstock from my stash. I just wanted to use this as a design element in my background. So I've got that done, and I love how that turned out. I think it looks really cool, and that's how I want the butterflies to look on my cardstock. Now this is the cardstock that came in my add-on kit, and I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of yellow to the background, and that's another one of my shimmers products there. And I just, you know, I didn't add anything to my background here. I just did some sprays and some splatters here. I just want some yellow peeking through the butterflies there, so I didn't add too much of it. But the colors in this Maggie Holmes sticker sheet really inspired me, and so I'm going to have this be a really light and airy type of layout, because the majority of the embellishments are going to be from this sticker sheet here. And this pink purple-ish flower. I'm going to play with it a few times. I finally do use it. I love this yellow and white gingham checked, how do you say that, paper, and I'm going to use it as a background layer, and then I'm going to throw in some tissue paper from my stash. And I just like to use that as a layering element. Just gives a little bit of dimension and a little, you know, kind of an uneven, messy look. I like to have everything nice and neat, but messy at the same time, if that's possible. All these stickers are so pretty. It was very hard to narrow down which ones to use, but I knew I wanted to use the florals. I just think they go really nicely with the butterflies. And of course the colors that I painted on the butterflies match the that really pretty pink purple color and the teal. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and then I'm going to do some stitching off camera with my sewing machine. And I stitched through almost all of the butterflies with some gold thread, and I just kind of left the threads kind of messy and loose, just because it kind of went with the whole idea of butterflies flying, and I don't know, in my mind it did. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it just, I like the way it looked. So I'm gonna make this little deer work just because it's cute and it's just the right color. But I couldn't make this other little deer work, so he's gonna go back to the sticker sheet. Decisions, so many decisions. All right, this is a shiny gold little wreath here. I'm gonna use half of it, so I don't want to waste the other half, so I'm just gonna cut it and then use it to the left of the picture there. Now, this is the only kit that I used for this layout, was the add-on kit. And so I just wanted to show you how you can definitely make an entire layout with just a few things. Because this kit has the sticker sheet, it has a set of thickers, which I'll use later, and then I think 4 pattern papers and 2 cardstocks. So, it's not a huge kit because it's an add-on, but you can definitely make several layouts with just the add-on kit. So if you're looking for something smaller to get rather than the main kit, the add-on kit is a great way to go. And you can get a lot out of this Maggie Holmes sticker sheet because it's loaded with beautiful things. And I'm just kind of playing around. I don't use that tag, but I thought I would give it a try. I didn't want to cover it up completely because it's really pretty. So I'm going to save that for another page. I do wind up cutting off some of the gold thread just because there was so much of it, but I leave the other ones there. And most of my embellishing is going to be to the right of the picture, and it's just, I'm just layering up different stickers basically, mainly the florals, just because I think, you know, it just reminds me of outdoors and spring, and the butterflies just seem to go with the flowers. So I decided that the right side here where the embellishments are needed a little bit of yellow, and so I just scribbled gelato on some plastic, and I'm using my water brush to kind of add a little bit of watercolor effect to the right. However, I noticed right away that I should have put gesso down because it did not want to smudge and blend as well as it usually does when I add gesso, so I just kind of do it backwards here. I stick my finger in some white gesso and just kind of smudge it around, and it doesn't have the same effect as if the gesso went on first, but it's still kind of blended out. I didn't want the harsh edges of the gelato. I like for my watercolor or my paints to kind of fade. You know, I don't want the edges to be super harsh, and so without the gesso, it was a little harsh for me, and so that's why I came back over. And then it was able to smudge a little bit better, and so I was able to fix that. And sometimes, you know, your brain isn't working and you just sort of go for things, and then you realize, oh, I should have done this. And that's just part of experimenting and learning. And then if you don't like the way it looks, you can just go back and fix it. Now this is one of the sheets in the add-on kit, and I want to use this darker little teal piece here, and I want to create a couple of strips down at the bottom of the page. So I'm going to use that piece and then a piece of the yellow checked again. I guess you would call that gingham. It reminds me of a tablecloth. So I'm going to stick that down, and then I'm going to come back to this sticker sheet here and add some gold tangled thread. And this is a little date sticker from that Maggie Holmes sticker sheet. And so instead of stamping my date, which is what I usually do, I'm just going to use it here on this little piece. And there are also lots of written sentiments on this sticker sheet down here at this bottom part. So I'm going to use some of those. And I did some stitching off camera, more stitching through those little sticker sentiments and down at the bottom. And it's gold thread again. These stickers, look at the shimmer. They're so glittery. They're so pretty. They're almost a light gold, but they have a silver look to them as well. They're just very sparkly and very pretty. And so I'm going to use some, I'm trying to decide where I want them to go. And my title's just going to be sweet. I know that's probably the most overused word in scrapbooking titles, but it's just a sweet picture, and it's a short and sweet title. And so there you go. That's my reasoning behind the title. I'm going to add my journaling right underneath the word sweet, and just going to draw my lines in straight and then come in with my Sharpie. The last thing I'm going to do is come in with some more color shine splatters. And I couldn't decide if I wanted black or tinsel, and I wound up going with the tinsel. It's more of a slate gray color. And I may have added some black in there. I can't remember right at this particular moment. I didn't want it to be too dark because the layout itself is light and airy. No, I didn't add black. I like the way that looks. I love how the butterflies turned out, and I love how you can create full layouts with just an add-on kit. So I hope you guys check out Citrus Twist kits. Lots of fun things this month. All the March kits are really, really beautiful. So let me know if you have any questions or want to know anything about any of these techniques or any of the products that I used. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.